Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we try to cut through the noise and get straight to the insights you need. Look, navigating personal finance, it can often feel like you're trying to decipher some kind of secret code, right?
Absolutely.
You hear so many terms, investments, budgets, retirement plans, and then there are the professionals who are supposed to help you with it all.
Hmm.
But two roles that consistently cause confusion and are just vital to understand are the financial advisor and the financial coach.
Yeah, they sound similar, but they're really quite different.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Today, our mission is basically to clarify the fundamental differences between these two experts. We want to understand exactly what each one brings to your financial journey and, ultimately help you decide which one, or maybe even both, is right for your specific situation. We're going to get to the core of what they do, how they get paid, and really when you truly need their expertise.
And it's actually incredible how often these roles get conflated. People tend to use the terms almost interchangeably, but distinguishing them isn't just like a matter of semantics. It's really crucial for making smart decisions about, well, your life savings. We're talking about the difference between, say, designing your dream home and actually, building it.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, and if you don't get that difference, you might hire the wrong person for the job. Or worse, you might miss out on the guidance you really need.
And that metaphor, designing versus building,
Right.
it's perfect because our source actually uses this fantastic analogy, building your dream financial home.
Okay.
So imagine you're building that home. A financial advisor, well, they're truly your architect.
Right.
They're the technical expert who designs the structural blueprint, for your financial security, your future. They're analyzing the land that's your current financial situation, understanding your end goal. Maybe that's retirement or leaving a legacy, whatever it is.
Understanding the terrain.
Exactly. Then they use sophisticated tools and deep knowledge to design a plan that is structurally sound. It's compliant with all the necessary building codes.
Tax laws, regulations.
Yeah, tax laws, exactly, and engineered for long-term stability.
And the architect, they specify the materials, right? So the specific investments like stocks, bonds, ETFs, maybe insurance products, these form the foundation, the walls, the roof of your financial house.
Right.
Their expertise is really in the what and the where. So what assets should you buy? Where should you place them for tax efficiency? And how do you construct a portfolio that can, weather economic storms? They're creating that robust long-term vision.
Okay, now contrast that with the financial coach. They're your general contractor.
Okay, the builder.
Yeah, the builder on site. The contractor might not draw the blueprints themselves, but they are there on site every single day, making sure that architect's blueprint actually gets followed.
Right, managing the process.
They manage the crew, that's you, maybe your family, and they keep the project on schedule. Think budgeting, managing cash flow.
And this is, I think, where the real day-to-day work happens. The general contractor, they solve those daily problems that always threaten to derail progress. Like what?
Well, things like impulse spending,
Yeah.
or maybe emotional decision-making when the market dips, right? Or even just a lack of communication about money in a relationship. That can really throw things off track.
It's huge.
Yeah. Their expertise is in the how and the why. So how do you stick to a budget? Why do you feel anxious about investing? And how do you align your daily habits, your actual behavior, with the architect's grand design? They're the ones making sure the vision becomes reality brick by brick.
So if we boil it down, one professional creates the master plan, make sure it's brilliant, sound,
The architect.
the architect. The other ensures it actually gets built, day by day, habit by habit. It's that critical bridge, really, from strategy to actually doing it.
And that's the bigger picture here, isn't it? A
Yeah.
brilliant financial strategy. I mean, no matter how perfectly designed it is on paper, it's only effective if you have the daily discipline, the behavioral sort of fortitude to actually execute it.
Right.
Without that builder on site, managing things, even the best plan just stays a drawing. It doesn't become a house. Absolutely. And that insight, it brings us right to our next point. Where do these two professionals really focus their energy? Because our source points out a key divergence here. One operates largely in the markets, the other, well, more in your mind.
Interesting.
So a financial advisor's focus is squarely on your capital, the money itself,
Yeah.
and the overarching strategy for it.
Mm-hmm.
Their primary concern is your money, how it's invested, how it grows, how it's protected. Their value comes from their ability to, construct and manage a portfolio, optimize it for risk and return, navigate complex tax scenarios, execute trades. that kind of thing.
Precisely. And their conversations are often very data-driven. They're centered on account statements, market trends, long-term projections.
Numbers, yeah.
Yeah, lots of numbers. They're making sure your strategy is sound, optimizing the financial mechanics, making sure your money works as hard as possible for you. If you've ever wondered about, say, rebalancing your portfolio or the impact of inflation on your savings, that's definitely their arena.
Okay. Now, on the flip side, a financial coach focuses almost exclusively on you and your behavior.
A human element.
Exactly. Their value comes from their ability to understand your psychology, your money mindset, your fears, your motivations. And here's, I think, a really crucial insight. The most perfectly constructed portfolio is, well, it's kind of useless if you panic sell during a market dip.
Oh, absolutely. Or if you
Ah.
just can't stop overspending.
Right. Or if you consistently overspend on your credit card, that amazing plan just falls apart.
Yeah, the coach helps you build systems, things like automated savings, maybe mindful spending rituals, debt repayment plans, things that counteract those self-sabotaging behaviors we all sometimes fall into.
Hmm.
Their conversations are much more introspective. They're centered on your goals, your values, and the real obstacles, the mental blocks that consistently keep you from falling through. So the advisor ensures your strategy is sound, yes, but the coach ensures you are sound enough to actually execute that strategy.
That's a great distinction.
It's like the difference between having a brilliant map and actually having the discipline, the mindset, to hike the trail every day.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It's really about recognizing that financial success isn't just about the numbers on a spreadsheet. It's profoundly about your actions, your habits, your mindset. It's often about just getting out of your own way.
Right. And this raises an important question for you to consider then. Are you primarily tackling the technical aspects of your money, the investments, the tax implications? Or are you maybe struggling more with the human elements, those behaviors that often prevent us from following through, even on the best financial intentions? Understanding that distinction is so key to finding the right support.
That's a really great way to put it, because often those human elements, that's exactly where we need the most guidance, isn't it?
I think so.
Okay, now let's talk about something incredibly vital. How these professionals are qualified and, just as importantly, how they're paid. Because understanding their business models, it reveals so much about their priorities, and it can significantly impact your experience.
Yeah, let's start with financial advisor credentials. To
Yeah.
actually manage your investments, these professionals need specific licenses, like the Series 7 and Series 66. You'll often see those mentioned.
Right.
And they also often pursue advanced certifications. Things like the Certified Financial Planner, the CFP designation. That focuses on comprehensive financial planning across, like, all aspects of your life. Or maybe the Chartered Financial Analyst, the CFA designation, which is known for really deep investment expertise.
Okay.
These are serious credentials. They demand rigorous study in areas like investment analysis, estate law, retirement planning. It tells you these professionals are qualified to handle complex financial situations.
And their compensation models, they can vary quite widely, can't they?
They really can.
They might be fee only,
Right.
meaning they charge, say, a percentage of the assets they manage for you, that's AUM, or maybe an hourly rate or a flat fee.
Mm-hmm.
Or they might be commission-based, meaning they earn money on the specific products they sell you. Sometimes it's a hybrid of both. And it's really important to emphasize here that a commission-based advisor, well, they may be incentivized to recommend certain products, which could create a potential conflict of interest.
That's a key point.
Yeah, so our source suggests some crucial questions you should ask, like, are you a fiduciary at all times? Which means they're legally obligated to act in your best interest.
Super important question.
And could you please explain all the ways you are compensated, including any commissions or referral fees? Get it all out in the open.
Transparency is key.
Absolutely. And it's also worth noting that AUM model, the percentage of assets, well, that advisor's expertise is kind of naturally oriented toward clients who have already built up significant capital.
Right, because their fee depends on the amount they manage.
Exactly. So if your most pressing issue is maybe building that capital from the ground up, you might not fit their ideal client profile just yet.
Okay, so now let's look at the financial coach credentials and compensation. Coaches often hold certifications like the Accredited Financial Counselor, AFC, or the Certified Personal Financial Coach, CPFC. These aren't really about picking stocks. They're more about understanding you.
The human element again.
Exactly. Your money psychology, your habits, how to build better financial routines. It's focusing on that behavioral side of finance.
And their compensation model is quite different.
Very different. Coaches are most commonly paid via flat monthly retainers or maybe hourly fees, kind of like you'd pay a personal trainer.
Okay, that makes sense.
And this is a key distinction. They don't sell products or manage assets. Their income is tied directly to the time and guidance they provide you.
So that removes some potential conflicts.
Exactly. It eliminates those conflicts of interest related to product sales. It makes their advice purely focused on your behavior change. And their services, they're accessible and valuable even if you're starting from zero, maybe deep in debt, or just feeling financially disorganized. Because you're paying for a transformative educational process, not really for the stewardship of a large portfolio.
So what did you ask a coach then?
Definitely ask them about their coaching methodology. How do they work with clients and what does a typical client engagement look like? Get a feel for their process.
And that's such a critical observation, understanding their business model. It really ensures your goals and their incentives are hopefully perfectly aligned.
Yeah, it creates that partnership built on trust.
It's about knowing exactly what you're paying for and why. Okay? Knowing that, it helps you navigate your financial journey with more confidence. So let's move into the practical application. Understanding when each professional is best suited for your financial life stage.
Right. So you likely need a financial advisor when you've accumulated some capital that requires professional strategic management.
Okay?
Think about key moments like maybe you receive a large inheritance or you sell a business. Or perhaps you're preparing for retirement with the sizable 401k rollover. Or maybe just the sheer complexity of your tax and estate situation, it just exceeds your current knowledge.
Right, when things get complicated.
Exactly. They are your go-to for answering questions like, how should I invest this, say, $250,000 to reach my goals? Or what's the most tax-efficient way to fund my child's education? Big strategic questions.
Okay. On the other hand, you definitely need a financial coach when your biggest obstacles are behavioral. And this is regardless of your income level, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter how much you make.
Exactly. This is crucial when you feel overwhelmed by debt. Maybe you find yourself living paycheck to paycheck even though you have a good income, or you consistently avoid looking at your bank statements.
That's a common one.
Oh, yeah. Or maybe when money arguments are really straining your relationship. The coach helps you answer those deeply personal questions like, why can't I stick to a budget? Or how do I overcome my fear of investing so I can finally just start
Getting unstuck.
Okay, let's unpack this for just a moment, though. Because for many people, the most powerful approach is actually a combination of both.
A tag team, like you said earlier.
Yeah, exactly. A tag team.
Yeah.
The coach helps you build the discipline to save and invest consistently. They help you create the capital. And then the advisor steps in to expertly manage that capital you've built.
It's a virtuous cycle, really. They truly are two complementary forces just working on different parts of the same problem. You wouldn't ask your architect to, hammer nails all day.
Right.
Nor would you ask your general contractor to draw up complex blueprints. Each one has a specialized, super valuable role in building your financial future.
Which brings us to the ultimate question. So, what does all this mean for your life savings? What difference does engaging with these professionals actually make to your bottom line, to that financial home you're trying to build?
Well, the tangible impact of a financial advisor is often measured in something called alpha. That's basically the percentage points of return they can generate above a market benchmark like the S&P 500.
Okay.
And this is achieved through things like skillful asset selection, maybe tax loss harvesting, rebalancing your portfolio effectively. Over 20 or 30 years, an extra 1 or 2% annual return. That can compound into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Huge difference.
Wow.
They protect and grow your capital through technical prowess. They make sure your money works harder for you.
Okay, so that's the advisor. Now, the tangible impact of a financial coach, however, it's measured a bit differently. It's measured in saved opportunity cost and profound behavioral change. Their impact is seen in, say, the debt you finally paid off, saving thousands in interest, or the emergency fund that prevented you from going into even more debt when your car suddenly broke down.
Life happens.
Life happens. Or maybe it's the consistent monthly investment contribution you now automate without fear. While this is maybe harder to put a precise number on than portfolio returns, this behavioral foundation, that's what truly allows compounding to work its magic over time.
That's a really crucial point. Without the coach's groundwork, you might never have actually accumulated the savings for the advisor to manage in the first place.
Good point.
So the coach maximizes the return of your money by ensuring you don't lose it to things like high fees, crippling interest, or just poor decisions. They help plug the leaks in your financial bucket, the ones you might not even notice are there.
And our source gives this really powerful story to illustrate this exact point. Imagine investor A, right? They receive a perfect portfolio from a top advisor. Brilliant strategy. But investor A doesn't have any coaching. So when the market crashes, they panic. They sell everything, locking in massive losses, and they completely miss the subsequent recovery.
Ouch.
Yeah, their advisor's brilliant strategy, it becomes completely irrelevant because the investor just couldn't stick to the plan. Their behavior undid everything.
Now contrast that with investor B. Investor B works with a coach to develop that critical discipline, that emotional resilience.
Okay.
They stay the course. They consistently invest a portion of their income every single month, rain or shine. Doesn't matter what the market's doing, even if they have a simpler, maybe self-managed index fund portfolio, Investor B's net worth could easily surpass Investor A's over time. Why? Because their behavior, not just their assets, was being managed.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, the coach helps seal those leaks we talked about. The wasteful subscriptions you forget about, the high-interest debt that just eats away at your income, the impulsive purchases, things you barely notice maybe, but they drain your financial potential year after year after year.
So it's clear then, one professional helps your money work harder for you, maximizing its growth.
The advisor.
The advisor. The other helps you work smarter with your money, ensuring you actually keep and build that capital in the first place.
The coach.
The coach. And the most powerful financial plan, it probably leverages both, creating that virtuous cycle we mentioned, where positive behaviors create more capital, and then that well-managed capital creates even greater opportunities and security. It can fundamentally alter your financial trajectory and, the legacy you eventually leave behind.
Well said.
That really is a powerful way to sum it up. We've definitely covered the distinct yet profoundly complementary roles of financial advisors and financial coaches today. And it's clear that it's not necessarily about choosing one over the other, is it? It's really about understanding your specific needs at your current stage of life. Are you ready for the complex blueprints, or do you maybe need some help laying a stronger foundation first?
Yeah, self-awareness is key.
So, as you look at your own financial picture, maybe consider not just how your money is being managed, but how your own behaviors are actively investing in or potentially undermining your financial future. What's the biggest leak in your financial pot right now? And who might be best equipped to help you fix it?
A great question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into empowering your financial journey.